sweat, pain and sacrifice. The time is here to decide who will be crowned champions of 2023. These are the two teams that will contest this grand final. Wigan, one change from the side that swept Hull KR aside in last week's semi-final. It's on the bench where Ethan Havard returns after 11 games out. Harvey Hill makes way. The young Cumbrian's day will surely come further in his career. Catalan Dragons, meanwhile, are unchanged from the team that ended St Helens' reign last weekend, and their side includes 8 members of the side beaten by the Saints in the 2021 Grand Final. Archie Morg on the bench, didn't get on the field against Saints last weekend. He'll be hoping to get his chance to make an impact today. It is, as ever, a stupendous Grand Final atmosphere. The Catalan Dragons supporters, and what credit to them. A week's notice, and they have got themselves here in great numbers. Charter flights organised, but a bit like Saints supporters last week in Perpignan. They've made a massive effort, and hoping the Catalan supporters to see their man Sam Tomkins bow out at the end of this glittering career in his 5th Grand Final with victory. And posing a massive threat to Catalan is Wigan's newly crowned man of steel, Bevan French. Tomkins and French, Wigan men of steel once upon a time. Liam Moore is the referee here at Old Trafford. The rain has relented. We've had torrential showers during the afternoon, but it's dried up. There's a chill in the air. It's grand final time. The smoke clearing from the fireworks. These sides first and second in the table. So hard to call this one.
Yeah, exactly it is. Both teams won 20 of the 27 rounds. Both teams scored the same amount of points, 722, so there is absolutely nothing in it, and I don't know many pundits who've called it split either way. This Catalan side, they know they've got to be bruising, they've got to be so good. Wigan got off to a tremendous start last week, scored 18 points in the opening 11 minutes. Catalan can't let them get a big start like that in this game.
Bill, I've played in a few and I've been to a lot of Grand Final. There is nothing better than a Grand Final at Old Trafford under these conditions, all to play for, and both teams capable of taking it.
Wigan, their last meeting between these two sides ended with Wigan emphatic victors, 34 points to 0 in Perpignan. But prior to that, Catalan had beaten Wigan twice at Magic and at the DW Stadium on a chilly winter's night. As Field gets his first touch of the ball, there are threats all over the pitch in this Wigan side. And Field is a major one of them, 18 tries to his name this season. Then here is another one of them, Liam Marshall. He doesn't just score tries, he does a lot of work out of backfield.
You're right, 21 carries he did last week against Hull KR. Made some decent meters along with this man. Both of them scored decent tries as well. But they're the ones who start the ball rolling for the forwards.
Toby King, an unusual situation for him. He'll be leaving Wigan at this end of this season, having been on loan for this campaign. What a season he has had. He's returning to his club Warrington as Tom Davis pouches the first high kick of the game.
Well, both sides going through the respective sets of 6, and when Sam Tomkins puts the kick in, Jay Field under no pressure. When Harry Smith puts the kick in, well, Catalan Dragons under pressure because of the intensity in the kick chase from Wigan.
Tom Johnston, Wigan will be keeping an eye on the Catalan Dragons winger. 29 tries to his name in all competitions this season. Here's Takiaho, one of a number of players from the Catalan ranks who will be leaving at the club at the end of this season. There's going to be a major rebuilding job for Steve McNamara. So there's a lot of incentive for the players who are bowing out. Tomkins, not the only one, as he puts the kick in. Taken after the kick had gone, the Catalan supporters voicing their displeasure. Liam Farrell leaving the scene very quietly.
Again, there's kick pressure on Sam Tompkins, and then the ability for Jayfield to catch it with no pressure around. Teams, coaches, players often talk about the detail. Wigan's detail in defence in that set of 6 was top-notch.
This is a really, really close game to call, as Terry has pointed out. At the moment, it's Catalan Dragons who are narrowly favoured. And that's the fans' verdict. There's probably a lot of wishful thinking there, other than in Cherry and Whiteland.
You're right, I think a lot of those neutrals will be supporting this Catalan side and Steve McNamara.
It's the question, isn't the question's not quite right. I think the question should be, who do you want to win?
Well, they are, for a lot of people, Catalan Dragons are a lot of people's second team, Steve McNamara's men. And a lot of their supporters, not just French-based, they have a lot of supporters in this country who've come from far and wide to cheer the Sang-Eor on. Here is Tyrone May, he'll be with Hull Kingston Rovers next season. Kai Pearce-Paul in the tackle there. He is leaving Wigan off to the NRL. What a big chance that is. From the Croydon Hurricanes in the London Amateur Leagues to the NRL with the Newcastle Knights. Meanwhile, it's the Catalan Dragons with Tompkins, who puts the first testing kick in towards Miski. It's Johnston who claims it, but Johnston is wrapped up.
Well,
is that a good omen for the Catalan Dragons?
Well, you just look where the game's been played. They've dominated this field position. A good kicking game from Sam Tompkins. Look, he lands it on the head of Miski, doesn't he? And Tom Johnson, they get hold of it. Sam Tompkins comes in thinking that Bevan French has got it.
Takiaho on Miski.
Do you know, you can see you've got a half-back in Mitchell Pearce who's calm, composed, calculated. His kicking game's outstanding along with Sam Tompkins. And you've got the like a Takiaho and Mickey McLaurin, who this is where they want to defend. Get off the line. Right then, Miski, if you think you're any good at bringing the ball back, get through this.
Miski's just had a bit of attention away from the scene of the action. The physio's given the thumbs up. Yeah, Takiaho laying down a marker there. Oh, and Paul Seguier.
Look at that. Well, Paul Seguier, one of the biggest hitters in the competition. Just 26 metres they made. Like I said, they're right on top early on, Catalan.
Smith's kick into the hands of Davis, and Davis grits his teeth to run the ball back once to the Wigan Warriors.
Well,
earlier in his career, Tom Davis.
If the Catalan Dragons can defend with intelligent aggression and pile the pressure on Wigan Warriors near their own line, it just makes that job a little bit more difficult.
Tyler Dupree in the tackle there. What a big night it is for 23-year-old Tyler Dupree.
Hold the 10, hold, goal free.
McIlorum, here is Mitchell Pearce. Pearce, good job, Seguier was switched on there. I don't think he was anticipating that.
He was hoping that he was going to drop underneath Seguier.
Goal 4.
Takiaho on it comes to Tyrone May, May to Whitley. Whitley cut down, good defence from Wigan there. That's the 5th tackle, just inside Wigan's 40. And Tompkins lofts the kick high, but it's claimed by King. Let's go down to the sideline, hear from Jenna.
Yeah, evening, Bill. I can tell you if Catalans score down this end, it may be because of something that Bernard Gouache did earlier tonight. He actually sent for holy water from Lord, and I can tell you that the club have blessed the pitch. So if they score down this end, well, who knows, maybe that is why.
Goal 3. Play on!
Thanks, Jenna. There's Jake Wardle. He has had a great season, culminating with a dream team selection in the centres. Well, he hopes culminating in a grand final kick victory. That's a great kick. Tompkins has to lope across to gather it, and then he looks round and he's closed down.
A superb kick from Wigan. So many times they choose to kick on the 3rd or 4th tackle, not waiting until the 5th, hoping to catch their opposition, just not quite concentrating, and then the kick chase is impeccable.
Tom Johnston looking for 1 try tonight to equal Morgan Escaray's record of tries in a season. Tom Davis. The two sides testing each other out early on in this 2023 Betfred Super League Grand Final. Set restart signals.
Yeah, that's a big call as well on the fourth play. That certainly helped them get out of trouble from that Bevan French kick.
Hold, go one. Got to be nice and quick, boys. Want a quick game?
Here is Ben Garcia, the inspirational Catalan Dragons captain. Hasn't missed a game in 2023.
Straight out.
He was captain of the side that lost in the 2021 Grand Final. Mike McMeekin.
That's a great carry. That know your role, know what's expected.
Go three.
Oh, McMeekin and McAlorum getting in a tangle there.
He chews up the easy meters, doesn't he? Mike McMeekin. He made the mistake. Just 30 meters away. You can see he gets up, there's the ball. It just comes off his heel, doesn't it?
Look at, I think KPP here is probably a little bit too close, gives a shove to Mike McMeekin. It's probably 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Mike McMeekin will want to be cleaner with his play the ball. Kai Pearce-Paul, I feel, has got away with one.
Mike McMeekin chuntering. Sam Tompkins evicts him from the scrum. McMeekin not happy with what went on there. Wigan have the ball back. Here is Tyler Dupree. You have to feel for Mike Cooper and Liam Byrne missing out for Wigan tonight.
And Harvey Hill as well, and lucky not to be playing in this match.
Ethan Havard coming back, it was always likely to happen that somebody was going to have to miss out.
Ethan Havard is a tremendous player, and as you quite rightly said, Bill, his day will come, Harvey Hill. But it is about the players that are playing now. Matty Pete is confident in the squad, in the 17 that he's got available to him.
He's French, he's King. Matt Peets watching on.
That's fine.
And Wigan, he won't have been impressed with that.
Well, the play the ball seemed to be a bit slowed in at Brad O'Neill for a test. You can see the markers when they set up, as long as they square, once that ball's played, they can then go around the man who's playing it. You can see all looks just a bit too slow on that play. Morgan Smithers was expecting the ball, but good play from Matt Whitley.
10. That's a great one now. I'm not
Whitley bowing out with the Catalan Dragons, destined for St Helens next season, who beat the Catalan Dragons in that 2021 Grand Final, 12 points to 10. That's how close Catalan came on their last visit to Old Trafford.
Okay, fair enough. Heads in, boys. Mickey, head in, please. Shot clock off.
10 minutes just over gone here, and it's very much an arm wrestle in the largely the middle of the field between these two early on.
Hold. Go one.
Here's Paul Seguier, the Grand Final rookie, unlike so many of those around him.
Go push forward.
Michael McAlorum among them in his 5th Grand Final. Garcia. Brad O'Neill in the tackle there. Cade Ellis, Liam Farrell doing their work for Wigan Warriors. Takiaho when it comes to Tyrone May. May to Whitley. Whitley on his shoulder. Wigan's defence.
Good acceleration and pace from May though then.
Pearce. Takiaho once more bustling through the middle. They've had to wait a while to get him fit. He's had his injury problems this season. But Catalan in a good position here. Oh, it comes off the head of Tompkins and goes backwards to Pearce. It's on the last. Pearce crossfield kick. Davis and Marshall scrabbling for that ball. Neither could get there. Well, that was a bit of a mess from the Catalan Dragons.
Well, Sam Tompkins is almost like a ghost behind the play the ball, deciding whether to run right or left. And from the reaction, from the bouncing ball, he finds his half-back partner, Mitchell Pearce, who puts an accurate kick in, but because it's a little bit ad hoc, players just aren't quite there. A fraction of a second behind, that's the reason it goes over the sideline.
A couple of fumbles from Wigan. There was the McMeekin, McAlorum knock on, and then that as Pearce and Marshall wrestle.
There's a problem with Seguier as well, and there's some blood from him.
Seguier, referee Liam Moore has stopped the clock, and
Seguier in a real mess.
Do you know, he's a physical player, said it before, that he's probably one of the best defensive players in the competition. Yeah, he misses plenty. In fact, he missed 7 tackles last week when they played against Saints. But it's because he flies out the line, he tries to whack everybody into next week. Obviously comes off second best here, and he knew as soon as he come away from this tackle, there was a problem.
This tackle 2. He's going to tackle 3.
First up contact from both sides has been strong. Didn't look anything in that.
I don't know whether Mitchell Pearce catches him. Catches an elbow or some kind of friendly fire. Yeah, he was wincing before he went to the floor, Bill. I thought that. But I'm sure they're going to take him over to the sideline.
Going off, yeah. HIA, I think it is saying, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I just think
you're right.
Yeah.
Martial boot.
You're right, Bill. You're right, Bill. They're going to assess him. Head injury assessment.
Keep responding. Keep responding. Out on the calls.
12 minutes on the clock. It won't be a bad thing for Catalan Dragons to be able to rotate a big man, put another big man on in Manu Mao.
It's not a bad replacement,
It's like for like too, isn't it? Eamon O'Carroll.
Tackle 3. Okay.
Sat next to Steve McNamara. Alex Chan. They're all looking very confident with the start so far from their side.
So Seguier off, Manu Mao, 35 years of age, and yet this is his first taste of a grand final.
Move now! Hold!
So he is on in place.
Go 1.
It's a good record against Wigan this season. Got 2 tries against them in that 18-10 win in March at the DW Stadium. His first ever try double. Here is Kieran, who will be swapping Catalan colours for those of the Wigan Warriors next season. Taking his golden boots with him. May with the break. May has made the break. He's looking for some support. He kicks ahead. The kick is too strong. Oh, hands. Johnston chased it for all he's worth.
Mate,
surely didn't get there.
Bill, I don't know whether it bounced back into Jay Field.
Checking the restart.
So Field may well have taken it out.
Just check the restart.
Very short in-goal areas.
He's already out when he touches
It's that white line, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got to go dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a look. If he's already over the line when he touches it, cheers, boys, yeah.
So it turned into be a good kick. Turned out to be a good kick.
That is obviously, we're at a football stadium, just as that back line dips down there, that's a problem for players.
20 restart. You just told me. 20 restart.
Oh.
Cheers, Chris.
Yeah.
This way, boys.
Well, he's viewed that the ball was over that back line.
Catalan supporters.
Zero coming.
We're going to get a 7 tackle set now because it went too far over that back line.
Move now!
Really?
Oh, Chris Kendall is the video referee.
Wigan off the hook.
Move! Hold! Got 1.
But Tyrone May will take encouragement from that break. Only he'd had one of the flyers in support.
2.
Well, he called for it, didn't he?
Back with me, boys.
Over here, Tom Johnston. He thought they had the pace. The kick was better from Tyrone May. But that's the threat from Catalan over on the left-hand side.
Kai Pearce-Paul
Play on.
scrambles to his feet. And it's Wigan's turn to give the ball a bit of width. And here is Ward, a little shimmy, little step from the former Giants.
Hold. Go 4.
Plays the ball just outside that Catalan 40. 4 tackles gone. Liam Farrell,
Move back!
4 times a grand final winner in his Wigan days. And then Smith, he hoists the kick. Tompkins is underneath it, climbs to catch it. Marshall was a bit early with the tackle. I think Tompkins hadn't reached the ground.
Yeah, the tackle's in the air, doesn't he? I mean, Marshall, well, he sets off, doesn't he? Tries to time that tackle to perfection. Doesn't want to give Sam Tompkins any real space as soon as he goes up for this.
Come on, Sam.
He tries to keep his knees as high as he can. Just look at him. When he goes in here, he's left the ground, but then he lifts his knees again to get that penalty, knowing what was coming from Marshall.
But it's also by lifting his knees up, he's off the ground and in the air for longer, therefore drawing a penalty out. Wigan's approach is the long game, isn't it? They're prepared to kick, chase and put pressure on their opponents, and when Tyrone May made that break, he went for a short-term play.
Good hit from
Tyler Dupree
No, it's all right.
with a big hit on Manu Mao.
There's a few early on in this game, isn't there? We know it's going to be physical, like you said at the start of the game. Like, pick them aside. Like, both of them, points scored, locked on defensively. Wigan are the best so far this year.
4.
Takiaho,
Over 10.
middle of the field.
Goal 4.
35 metres or so away from that Wigan try line. Here's Tyrone May once more. May holds on to the ball, finds Pearce. Pearce then to McIlaurin. Nice hands, McIlaurin back to Pearce. Back to Manu Mao now.
5.
The rain
Move straight out.
still falling,
5.
just easing off slightly now. Tompkins on the last with the kick, looking for Johnston, but Abbas Miski read that well.
Really intelligent play from Abbas Miski. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, catches the ball. That's the reason he can go to the 20-metre line.
0. Move down.
2 kicks that haven't quite found the mark for the Catalan Dragons their last couple of sets.
It's clear where they're going, though, isn't it? They're going to that side. Abbas Miski, you'd back Tom Johnson in an aerial battle, wouldn't you? Even though both centres, Wardle and King, are 6'3", 6'4", they're quite small on the flanks in Marshall and Miski. M&M, as Ryan Hall called them.
Goal 3.
Others are available. Here is Bevan French. French to King, and King with Kieran making the tackle.
Goal 4 rolling.
Bevan French celebrating his Man of Steel selection this week. Here is Fields. Fields
5. Move.
tackled by Ikavalu. He's got a bang on the head, Matt Ikavalu, in that tackle. Smith kicks cross field. Johnston is underneath it. Kai Pearce-Paul was challenging, seemed to be nudged. Johnston gets away, and it's a good job for him that Wigan managed to get a hand on him. It was King, I think, who managed to get a hand on him. 6 to go, says the referee.
Well, they seemed a bit scrappy, didn't it? You're right, I think Tom Johnston was helped out by some of his teammates then when that ball went out. Known as an escort, just wouldn't let the defenders get to them when they were catching the ball. And the Warriors now just trying to turn the screw. Look, Kai Pearce-Paul nudged off the ball. Could have been a penalty, that, to the Warriors.
Just for a moment there was the threat of Tom Johnston disappearing into the distance.
Wouldn't that be a treat? Any new viewers who haven't watched much Super League, once that player gets in the open, it's a try.
Mind you, this guy's no slouch either, Tyrone May.
Started off well, hasn't he? Running the ball a lot.
Pearce with a kick that's straight into the arms of Liam Marshall and invites him to run the ball back.
Kick on the third from Catalan Dragons. I can only think he popped out, saw some space, thought he could kick to it, but didn't account for Wigan being right on the spot.
Haven't got the kicking game quite in shape this evening yet, the Catalan Dragons. Here is Kai Pearce-Paul, and Kai Pearce-Paul is tipped in the tackle there by Kieran. And not surprisingly, he's penalised the Catalan centre.
Come on, mate, it's over. Over there, please, over there.
Just coming up to a quarter of the game gone, and Adam Kieran gets this wrong, doesn't he? Tries to dip underneath. Kai Pearce-Paul picks him up, upends him, drops him on his shoulder.
I get it.
You see there's a bit of a tug from Tyrone May over the top, which didn't help initially, and then he pulls out of it, and the tackle from Kieran.
Well, Kai Pearce-Paul has one of the best offloads in Super League, so there's an element of panic when you get near him. You don't know where to grab hold of the ball. 6'6", 6'7" frame. He gets that all wrong, Kieran. And they're having a look at this to see whether it's a little bit more than a penalty.
It's just a penalty.
Yeah.
Liam Moore in conversation with video ref Chris Kendall, and he's called out Adam Kieran.
Mate, legs go above the horizontal. He lands on his shoulder. That's what saves you from it being a red card. It's reckless, it's a sin bin. You've been saved because he lands on his shoulder.
Yeah, it's tough, but under the rules that we're playing now, his hips were above his head, above the horizontal, so Yeah, teams nowadays in Super League well equipped to defend with 12 men for 10 minutes.
Well, what an opportunity this is for the Wigan Warriors. The Catalan Dragons down to 12 for 10 minutes. Wigan in possession. And Wigan have brought that man onto the field. Ethan Havard returning after 11 games out after a nasty hamstring injury. You can see that left thigh heavily strapped. Catalan with a massive defending job to do here now. Harry Smith, French lobs the ball to Miski cutting back in field. The only consolation for the Catalan Dragons would be that if Kieran had got that even more wrong, it would have been a red card. But there could be punishment to pay here as Farrell slips the clutches, and Farrell is denied at the last. What brilliant defence that was. Tom Davies and Mitchell Pearce to deny him. Fifth tackle. Brad O'Neill gets the ball away. Harry Smith kicks cross field. Miski will challenge. Tom Johnston claims it. What a catch that was.
What a catch that was, but what a tackle that was from Mitchell Pearce. Saved a certain 4-point, if not 6. Incredible effort. Look, great ball. He gets through the line. How many times have we seen Farrell come up with that play? That second effort, that's heroic defence.
Here is Tom Davies, Mitchell Pearce, season campaigner, 34 years of age, a grand final winner with the Sydney Roosters in 2013 against Manly.
He's experienced to know that it's not just about the tries that you score, it's about the tries that you prevent. That is a try all day for Liam Farrell, were it not for that extra effort from Mitchell Pearce.
Tompkins booms the ball downfield. Kieran off the field, the second man to be sin-binned in a grand final following Tommy Makinson last year. Paul Seguier on the sideline, patched up. The good news for Catalan Dragons, he's passed his head injury assessment, will be able to return.
Well, it looks like Matt Whitley's defending out wide to cover where Adam Kieran was. Come up with 2 very good tackles, and the first one on Jay Field, cutting down his space. Well, big work ethic here now over the next 7 minutes for Catalan. We won't want to give the Warriors any opportunities.
Here is Farrell once more. Another one of the highly decorated Wigan players, 4 times a grand final winner. Harry Smith, the kick, not so deep. Tompkins comes to claim it and makes that his definitively.
That's brilliant work, isn't it, from Tompkins? Pressure on his side. At the minute they've got the ball, when it's their turn to defend the Catalan Dragons, they've got to be good at the play of the ball. Not give a penalty away, not give a 6 again.
Not give a knock on.
And not give the ball away, Bill. Wow.
What side is it? This side?
Tom Johnston.
This side. Where do you want it? This side. All right.
He knows, done it. He made a mistake in the game last week against St Helens, and I remember Sam Tompkins just giving him a pat on the head. You can see he's got hold of that ball. He looks up at players in front of him, and for a split second that focus is gone. But Sam Tompkins got round Tom Johnston, had a word in his ear, and his next couple of contributions were very positive for his side.
Wigan brimming with confidence going into this game. They won 10 Super League matches in a row. Their last defeats was back on July the 7th, when they were beaten by bottom of the table and now relegated Wakefield in Golden Point extra time. Here's Field to Wardle, flings the ball back in Field, and Field claims it.
Well, didn't he do well then to prevent the Warriors from scoring a try then? Obviously got the numerical advantage, looking to make the ball work.
Farrell. Here is Ethan Havard, Bulgarian-born front rower. Smithies. Cade Ellis now. Bousquet out there, Julian Bousquet, season campaigner, as Catalan try and hold firm with 12 men. But can they do that as Marshall scoops the ball up? It'll be a real boost for the Catalan Dragons if they can keep Wigan at bay. Well, there's a high shot on Marshall. Now will they opt to take 2?
That's the big call, isn't it? Or do you keep on going here?
I think you'd listen to the players, wouldn't you? I'm looking at the activity down on the sideline. There was a suggestion and a signal to take two, but I'd say Catalan Dragons would be delighted with Wigan taking two.
Liam Farrell has just told the referee they're going to go.
If there is a good penalty to give away, that's one of them, because it lets the clock tick, doesn't it?
Exactly, and do you know, like, obviously down here, you've got a man in the sin bin. Catalan will be really happy that the Warriors are taking this 2 points. I'd take that all day from defending my line with one man down.
And I think it's a little nod to what we've seen so far. We've seen two desperate efforts from the Dragons to deny Wigan Warriors when it looked a certain try.
Wigan coach Matt Peat watching on as Harry Smith lines up his first kick of the match at goal. Can blow hot and cold, Harry Smith off the tee. He was hot last week against Hull KR, 7 from 7 he kicked. So on that basis, he is in form. This to get the first points of the game on the board after just over 25 minutes here at Old Trafford.
Well, do you know what, in big games, you take the points, don't you? And Adam Kieran last week, there was on 3 occasions they've gone for the penalties, which more or less got them the game with Sam Tompkins trying at the end of the game. So big games, take the points, keep knocking them over. There's just under 5 minutes to go in that sin bin. So Matty Peat knows that they've still got a few more sets now where they can try and shift the ball with some real purpose and intent, cause Catalan some issues and problems.
Stay behind, boys, yeah.
And I think it's another nod to the long game that Wigan are willing to play. Patience, making sure that when they get the opportunity to strike, whether it's as a try or a conversion, they take it.
Tompkins resumes for the Catalan Dragons. Wigan with Cade Ellis, who's done well in the absence of front rowers Liam Byrne and Mike Cooper. Havards, Kieran watching on from the sideline.
Goal 2. Cheers, mate.
Just over 2.5 minutes for him to wait
the offload.
Kai Pearce-Paul, an ankle tap on him and just stops his progress on the halfway line. Catalan's desperate. Kai Pearce-Paul loses that ball. There's a hand in there.
You're slow on the floor into that.
Again, Kai Pearce-Paul.
The first time.
Long rangey kind of runner, and he's a run threat, he's a pass threat, he's an offload threat, and he just couldn't hold his time, could it? Romain Navarrete spent too much time in, referee blows the whistle.
Big opportunity for Wigan now, big point in the game. They're on the board. Catalan still with Kieran on the sideline. They've got the penalty. They've got an opportunity to exploit their numerical superiority. Seguier is back out there, head strapped. Havard felt that challenge. Slow to get to his feet. Smith. Here is Liam Farrell now.
He's gone. He's pulled his hamstring again there.
You're on kidding me.
No.
He is looking to the sidelines. Oh, Ethan Havard limping as Harry Smith finds Bevan French. French on it comes to field, and Johnston makes the tackle. Oh, and Ethan Havard is leaving the field as we see this. Wigan come up with a knock-on. It was a gamble for Wigan. After 11 games out, Ethan Havard selected on the bench.
Well, that's it. Like leaving young Harvey Hill out, but he's so important, isn't he? Matty Peat knows what he's got with that youngster, but obviously wasn't ready for this game. But there's no second chances in the grand final. And Matty Peat knows exactly what he can do.
Gonna bring him on, is he on?
He's took the gamble, it's not paid off, he's had to go off injured. But Catalans celebrate, they celebrate with the mistake.
Just let him on,
They defended the line.
Let's go then, boys.
Willie Isa looks like he's coming onto the field.
But obviously he's not going to be back on the field, so that alters the rotation. Big bench for Wigan. Patrick Mago doesn't tend to do big minutes. What effect that will have, we'll wait and see.
You can hear the Wigan fans away to our left in the Stretford end absorbing that news that young Ethan Havard has not lasted the course.
Well, that means that the likes of Cade Ellis and Tyler Dupree, out-and-out props, along with Patrick Mago, have got to do bigger minutes in the middle of the field. Take Ethan Havard out of there, they've lost that fourth prop forward.
Adam Kieran, meanwhile, waiting on the sideline to come back on to restore Catalan to a full complement.
Third, move time.
And if some of those bigger men get tired, it may bring Michael McAloran back in. There's a devastated Ethan Havard on the sideline. No, his night's done.
Julian Bousquet then. Kieran is back out there.
Hold. 6 again. Too much. Come out to the
Bousquet.
Not through the rock. The same as the one down there. 1.
6 more tackles for the Dragons. Good opportunity for them.
Marcus, go to the side.
Here's Romain Navarrete, once the Wigan Warriors, the French international, the first Frenchman to win in a grand final, in fact, in his Wigan days.
Hold. Goal 2.
Navarrete plays the ball, so Catalan, I think, will be fairly content to have got away with just conceding that penalty as Tompkins tries to wriggle his way through. But Smith is with the tackle.
Goal 3. Less of those romantic
3
set,
tackles
please.
gone this set. Tyrone May, here is McMeekin, but a wall of Cherry and White in his way.
Move! Back up here, Hawkeye. Goal 4, that's okay.
Here is Tyrone May now. May stepping back in field, trying to keep Farrell at arm's length. Does that. Paul Seguier. Seguier bumps off the first challenge, but Wardle
5.
and Harry Smith assisted by Kai Pearce-Paul.
Goal 5.
Mati Kavalu then spins the ball out to Tyrone May. May on it comes to Pearce. Pearce to Tompkins. Tompkins to Whitley. Whitley bumps off the first challenge. Gets the ball via Kieran to Tom Johnston. Johnston manages to get it out, and it's batted back. It's still batted back, and somehow Wigan have kept possession. That was like a basketball phase.
He did well then, didn't he? Jay Field, with all that pressure. And it was frantic, wasn't it, from Catalan? And Tom Johnson got hold of the ball. He caught him the last play, looking to offload it. And Jay Field rescued the situation.
4.
We had a flat patch, didn't we, when the Simbin was on. Here's the offload, forced from Matt Whitley. Quick hands from the centre, Kieran. And then this offload just gets batted back by Wigan, but you can just feel it ramp up a little bit.
Goal 5.
Still waiting for the first try of the game. Harry Smith with the boot there. His penalty separating these two sides. Tom Davis gathers the kick and then motors back towards the halfway line. Little stumble. Makes the 40.
Follow me.
Brad O'Neill, the number 22 for Wigan. That's his 28th tackle in 31 minutes.
2.
Big work rate for that man.
Up at square. Goal 2.
Tyrone May. Is Kieran now.
3. Move, Willie!
Just inside Wigan territory. The Catalan Dragons with Julian Bousquet.
4.
Season campaign up for the Catalan Dragons. 32-year-old Bousquet. Mitchell Pearce. Pearce to Tyrone May. May to Seguier. Seguier.
5.
That's the 5th tackle.
Back up now, please. Hold.
About 25 metres out. The ball with Pearce. Pearce kicks towards the middle of the field, looking for Whitley, but French claims that one emphatically.
Yeah, good play, wasn't it, from French? Didn't take his eyes off that ball, even though Matt Whitley was in the vicinity. You know, just looking at Tyrone May in this game, I think if Catalan had to go on to win this game, I think he's going to be the best player. Things seem to be happening in and around him every time he gets the ball, and his organisational skills as well in the opening 32 minutes.
Goal 3, nice and quick. Good.
There's Wardle now.
4. Move. Hold. Goal 4, quick. 40.
Powell with the kick early in the tackle count, claimed by Tom Johnston. But these two sides know the threat that the opposition wingers possess.
Goal 1, down 10 players, as Maestro.
I was saying before, Bill, about how good both sets of wingers are. Return the ball, Tom Davis involved.
Move, Sam, up and score.
Tom Davis, 198 metres last week. Tom Johnson, 174 more than the forwards.
Kieran Here is Whitley now.
Oh, if Tom Johnson is there, then Matt Whitley passes to him.
That's not a great ball, and it's scooped up by Matti Cavallo, who might try and turn this into something. I wonder if when Catalan get into the dressing room at half-time, Steve McNamara will be asking for a bit more passing accuracy. Here is Mike McMeekin, twice a grand final loser. Hoping it'll be third time lucky McMeekin. McIlorum, nice ball back on the inside from Pearce, finds Romain Navarrete on his shoulder. That's the fifth tackle.
Goal 5.
McIlorum, Tompkins, May little step, tries to get the ball away, it's picked up by French.
Touched off Wigan.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
I think from an offload.
Play that, mate.
I think Wigan play the ball, and Catalan are going to get a full set of 6 here. As Tyrone May offloads that ball, it hits Kai Pearce-Paul.
The middle. Well done, Johnny.
Good spots.
He looks like he's trying to make that tackle and the ball hits him. Celebrations in the dugout for the Catalan Dragons. Know what an opportunity they've got in front of them now.
Goal line, Wigan!
Is this their first chance, Catalan?
Apart from that kick chase.
Yeah, they haven't had too many.
Big opportunity for them then, with half-time approaching 5 minutes away. They're only about 15 metres away from that Wigan try line. The Catalan supporters, the flags waving in that Sir Alex Ferguson stand, hoping that they can find a way through here. Ikavalu. Ellis up top. Morgan Smithers, they are offside. And do they trust the boot?
Yes.
Now this is the call, isn't it? You know, 2 points lead Wigan have got. You've had a man in the sin bin. You're down here, you get a penalty. Steve McNamara, he said that message out. Yeah, we'll take the 2. Him and O'Carroll sat on his right.
Yeah.
And Sam Tompkins now just comes in, just has a little talk with Michael McLaurin about what they want. And Adam Kieran.
Oh, it's tight, isn't it? Tight.
It's the grand final.
It's tighter than a submarine doorbell. There you go. I've not used that one for a bit.
I don't think we have had that this season.
No, not for a while. But it is very tense.
It's magnificently tense.
Yeah, both sides are really physical, aren't they? The fans are doing their bit to make it into an atmosphere. And on the field, the players are performing. Defensively, both sets of them have been absolutely tearing into each other. Completion rates are pretty high, considering the weather that we've had all day here. The pitch's been greasy. And if Adam Kieran knocks over this 2 points...
1 minute, Adam.
Well, that's exactly what that man will be looking for.
They're passionate fans, aren't they?
Kieran, who kicked 4 from 4 against St Helens last week, and crucial goals they were as well. That was nerve-jangling, that semi-final. This, the grand final, even more so. 72 goals to his name this season, and Kieran has the opportunity to tie things up here with half-time approaching. No mistake from the former New Zealand Warrior, Adam Kieran. 2 points apiece, the lowest scoring first half so far. We've still got 3 minutes to go, but back in 2020, Wigan led 2-0 against Saints at Hull.
We have spoken all week, haven't we, about the Formula 1 race cars, the fast plays, the Marshalls, Miskies, Bevan French Field. It's all been about the arm wrestle. It's all been about the patient approach. I'm sure this game will break out at some point, but for now, it's deadlock.
There is Romain Navarrete.
Hold! Release it now! Hold, goal, 1 spins.
Kieran hands the ball to McIlorum. McIlorum to Busquet eventually.
Well, they don't need to panic though, do they?
Hold! Goal 2.
You see the cherry and white shirts just flying out the line, trying to force the error. There's only a couple more chances they'll get before half-time.
Hold! Hold!
Seguier.
Goal 3rd.
Gets to his feet to play the ball. Julian Busquets now.
4.
11 seasons in the colours of the Catalan Dragons, Julian Busquets.
Oh, goal 4, we're going.
McMeekin. Only latterly converted into a prop. Mike McMeekin, he's made a great job of it. Tompkins gets the kick away, straight downfield into the arms of Jay Fields. And here is Liam Marshall.
1.
Well, it's not a bad line. And a solid line to meet them, isn't it?
6 again, too slow.
Set restart signal by referee Liam Moore.
1.
And things like penalty set restarts, a mistake, that could be the difference whether you win or lose in a big game. The extra tackles, the extra efforts that you have to make.
Thanks, Tony. Hold the 10.
Toby King playing the ball. Mago. Patrick Mago. Solidly dependable from the bench, subbing 26 of 31 games this season, Mago. Here is Harry Smith. Smith to Field. Can Wigan finish this first half with a flourish? Maybe they can, because Field has got away. Field going to goal. What a tackle that was from Tom Johnston. He doesn't just score tries, he could have saved a try there. Smith with a little kick ahead. Johnston is there again to the rescue. Tom Johnston.
Talk about bravery.
2 massive plays there from Tom Johnston.
And I'll tell you what, put that passage of play down to Patrick Mago. His big charge and his ability to keep his feet, and on the back of that, Jay Field finds the open space.
Tom Johnston might have paid a price for this, you know.
Guys, take your time, let him get sorted, take your time.
They haven't got much space to play with on the dead ball line. A beautiful kick from Harry Smith.
Time is off.
He thinks he's secured possession there, and all he's got to do is keep hold of that ball. And that's all he's thinking about. I'm going to keep hold of the ball.
This is the problem with a pitch that is so tight like this. There is no room for error.
And the greasy surface as well. It'll be okay. Tom Johnston. No, they're 2 big efforts from him. Like, not just patting himself on the back from stopping Jay Field from scoring a try. The speedster in the Warriors #1 shirt. But then to get back and prevent Harry Smith, one of the best kickers, from creating a try. Look at this. This is big effort, comes from over the left-hand side, cuts him dead, stops that play, positions himself at second marker, knowing that the pressure is probably going to come over on the left-hand side because he's not in position. And he just turns up, gets himself in the action area, and like I said, not a problem. Big games like this, you have to own those big moments, and there were 2 big moments from Tom Johnston.
Stay behind. Stay behind.
And I think if he'd got that wrong against Field there, there's every possibility Jay Field would have
ready for this drop goal.
completed his mission. French booms the ball. Smith goes for the 1-pointer. And Tompkins gathers it short of the line. And Tompkins will make that ball dead. First half ends with drama, as Tom Johnston twice denies Wigan potential try-scoring opportunities. And in the end, after all the fury and ferocity of this first half, it's 2 points apiece.